Okay.
Alright, do your intro.
Alright. Okay, yeah, I'm good.
Hello and welcome to a new video with Negative, Blue Phoenix, Dragon Tree 8, and Starstrike Instruder, which is mute.
I think you meant me, or you said muted. But yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hello! This is the second mob reaction.
Yes, so none of us except for Struder, I think, have watched this. So you're getting real reactions from everybody except for the dude who's using a voice.
Negative, you're on the wrong one.
I'm on the wrong one. Am I?
That's...
Oh!
Yes.
Oops. 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
Tiny Agnes, where are you?
Those note blocks.
Hello, fellow music fan. You're my only friend now that Tiny Agnes is gone. Here, take my last cookie. You deserve it. Chicken. You must be the Allay. Thanks for collecting all these cookies for me. Would you do that with any item I give you? Hooray! No more collecting for me. And you dance too? Amazing. If you give an Allay an item, it will collect matching ones for you. It also loves music. So if there's a note block nearby, that's where it will drop them.
Wait.
Will Tiny Jens ever drop an album? Was that Tiny Agnes's voice? Do you want the LA to join Minecraft? Tune in to Minecraft Live on October 16th to cast your vote and change Minecraft forever.
Is this like an
Just go back a
endless
little bit
amount
to the
of any
images.
supplies?
And turn off the voice chat thing.
Yeah, the
There you go.
Smiths, I don't care. Okay.
Is
Alright.
this a diamond farm? Is this a totem of undying farm? Is this...
This sounds like a guy who will grab your stuff from your chest.
So it says that
Instead
it's
of using food, note blocks will be how you tame it.
ooh. And here's the thing too. So it says it'll pick up any item. So I feel like it's going to be able to like go out and grab items, which could have some use. I don't know precisely, but
It counts how much distance one thing, and then does it grab it from chests? Does it gather things like a farm that's growing, or
It didn't specify, but I was under the impression because it didn't specify where they come from. It's you give it something like a cookie, and then it goes off and finds other cookies for you. And it
so
would be something similar to how cats bring you items when you sleep in bed.
so I mean, depending on how it works, like if the player doesn't have to be involved, could it be used for farms?
sounds
That's
like
what
a
I'm thinking.
duplicate thing too? Yeah.
It sounds like maybe what
Maybe
would
an
have
auto
to happen.
crafter, possibly?
I don't
That
think it's
could
an
be
auto
interesting.
crafter.
Um,
I
This
think
is
that maybe
very
what it is.
confusing compared to the last one.
Maybe what it is you give it one item and it will bring you two back. And or maybe every time you send it off to go and get an item, you have to manually do it, so it's not automated. But this way, what you could do is I can see like a minecart system being set up where you're just going back and forth, holding down the right click button, automatically activating these guys to go and hunt stuff for you. In which case, you can farm literally anything.
The biggest question is he getting out of nowhere, or is he actually getting out of a certain distance?
I feel
Yeah,
like,
like-
he's picking up actual in-game items.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Like,
So odd.
Mojang is very hard on item duplicators, and I don't think they would intentionally make.
Yeah, because that
It also needs to charge, possibly using sculpt stuff.
That? Oh, that's true. It shares a color scheme and it likes music. So it could be a sculpt type mob, which is like what a warden is a sculpt type. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
The other item I want to point out too. This is the second ghost type, if you will, that they've presented to us. The glare was ghost-like.
Put them are helpers.
Yes, so they are trying to basically design a new helper pet, similar to cats, dogs, and others.
Llama.
So you were talking about a dungeon update in the last video, which you guys should go check out. What if they were doing like friend and foe or something, like friend and foe as the update theme, where it's like updating pets and updating dangerous mobs. We've been talking about the possibility of them updating mob AI.
I think that is a good name for the update, the friend and foe update.
Yeah.
Or
because they've been leaning into like the X and Y, you know, village and pillage, caves and cliffs, and they like the same letter. So I don't know. There's not much else in the background that I've seen either that's interesting.
Like the previous video that was released had a ton of stuff going on in the background, including the bee suit, which we wanted to talk about a little bit more in this video.
Oh yeah, you had an additional theory from last time. What was that theory?
That the bee suit could be used as a disguise similar to pumpkins when you're facing Endermen.
But the bee suit is for bees.
Yes, the bee suit is for bees, not Endermen.
So basically, like, I could go and get honey from a beehive without a campfire and still not be stung?
Yes.
Interesting.
Although I feel like that's kind of a lame ability when it was like, yeah, I feel like a campfire would be just as easy, if not easier, to utilize.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe if you were to put on that disguise, you could take it a step further and maybe control the bees as, guess what, friends, like your little pets or allies. However, if you take the suit off, it stops working.
Maybe even the bees get mad at you. So that comes with a risk. That.
Yeah. So, but they could be like, maybe they see you as the queen bee and they go to protect you from hostile mobs.
That could work. I think that's a little far-fetched for Mojang to do that.
It is a little bit too much. They like to go a
Can
little bit fake.
Can you imagine the security systems you can build with something like that?
Well, I mean, think about something like this guy. If you set up something on like a pressure plate where anytime someone walks in the door, you could actually have this thing run on like a little racetrack or something and activate a bunch of pressure plates or something. Or tripwire hooks to activate like a bunch of systems.
If he is getting from a chest, yeah, you could do that. You give him a separate item, he goes set off a certain thing.
Well, I mean, or you give him an item and then he can run and basically have a system where you press a button and it drops that item that you want, all the items that you want as identifiers. You give him, let's say you have 3 different systems. You have wheat, iron, and a cookie. And you give him the wheat, he runs and he activates everything on the wheat line, which might be like all your farms and stuff.
Yeah, see, like you could have him auto collect farm. This could like make automated farms way easier, because because there are some farms that require things like villagers.
Yeah.
To get those set up. If you have this guy going and picking all of the crops, things are going to be made way easier.
So the big question is, where is he getting this stuff? That's literally how useful he will be.
Yeah,
because if it's a duplication, the machine basically, like that's gonna become way too overpowered.
Yeah,
it's gonna be abused.
So I'm gonna look on Twitter, because the Minecraft devs are very notorious for saying things on Twitter that they shouldn't. Okay, they won't look in unloaded chunks. But while we're looking at that, how about Blue? You talk about maybe possible uses for explorers with this mod.
I see this used as for builders and redstoners, but explorer, I really don't see his use.
I have an idea. What if you're raiding something like a woodland mansion, and there's a hidden room
that's
somewhere?
More the fighters, not the explorers.
Oh.
Explorers
let's talk
would
about
want
this
to
anyway.
go into it themselves. That's literally what explorer is doing.
Okay.
They want to do the work and find everything. So this little guy finds the things for you. He then you just took out the part of exploring, going into the desert temple and trying to dodge the pressure plates and that type of thing.
Well, I was thinking something like you have gone, you found a whole bunch of treasure, and you're like, I wonder if I've missed something. Maybe there's a diamond block hidden somewhere in this building that I hid in a small hidden room. And so you set him off to find the diamond block.
And then you would. The thing is, I would think also maybe the one thing you would use him for is to help you find certain areas, like the dark guy trying to find a cave with the other guy. Use him to try to find a place that you know only has specific blocks, so you give him specific blocks.
Yeah.
Also,
Well. Good.
something I've noticed about his design is that it looks a lot like a Vex.
Yes, he does look a lot like a Vex.
So I imagine he's going to be able to pass through walls.
So I don't really see him that useful for adventurers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it might be a little bit difficult to use with a redstone machine because he's being set down a specific track back and forth, but he can fly through walls. It's going to be a lot harder to get him to go where he wants.
That
And
is
then
true.
if he is a duplicate, he's gonna irritate certain people in Minecraft.
I have a strong feeling they won't do that, but I have not found, so I've been just scrolling through Twitter for the last couple minutes.
Well, did you say you saw something about a chunk that he won't go in specific chunks?
Yeah, so all I've been able to confirm is he will not be able to go into unloaded chunks.
Alright, that makes it sound like he's grabbing stuff.
Yeah, he's got to be going and getting something. People have apparently already modded him into the game.
Mine doesn't set too fast.
No. But as far as the builders, I do think they would have a pretty powerful use case as well. For the sake
Well-
that, depending on how they access stuff, if they access stuff by laying on the ground, I don't know how useful they would be. But if they can reach into a chest, like, think about it this way. You see that you're on your last stack of cobblestone. You just drop a piece of cobblestone. You give it a piece of cobblestone, and it brings you back a stack from your chest.
He's great for a builder if he does that. If he brings you back,
Yeah.
even if he's a duplicate, he will still help you in building.
Yeah, and even
I
with
need this block. Okay, here.
Yeah,
give me this
and even
block,
with the
and this will work
redstoners-
for you.
even if he passes through walls, I think you could still compensate for that. Although I would still prefer it that he wouldn't.
Well, if he's opening a chest, the chest might be censored saying it's opening up.
I have an idea.
True.
What if he could do more than just fetch items for you, but also deliver items for you? Like,
that would be
what if there's a
cool.
way to give him, like you're mining, and what if your inventory gets full? You want to give him your stacks of coal and iron and stuff for him to go drop off in a chest for you and come back.
But that's not his discretion, and I don't think they're going to make him do that.
If they were to, because I could see that as being a suggestion.
Yeah.
Let's just theorize for a second. If they were to do that, they would have to find a way to basically, you would have to be able to tie them to a chest, which could be possible, and then you could add it to an automated storage system. And that would
It's
work.
on top of a music block. Like, there you go.
Yeah, and the other item is that they and it could be possible. There's a couple things I'll add to it in just a second. So the number one thing is Minecraft is also looking at solving inventory problems. That's the purpose of the bundle, and they've said that they want to do more. This could be a way for them to
The
solve.
bundle that never happened.
It is supposedly happening in the next update. The biggest issue is that it doesn't work well on Bedrock, namely with touchscreens.
Well, you and me have been playing Minecraft Lord of the Rings, and we know how the bundle is working.
Yes, it's okay, but I will be honest with you. We have bundles with even larger storage, and it's horribly inefficient.
Yeah.
So it's still not the one-size-fits-all solution. And that's why I think this would be good. And on the note block concept, so they said that they are attracted to note blocks. So one thing you could do is you might have a system where, like, you give it a stack of iron, right? And then it's gonna go try to retrieve the iron from your chest. And in the process, you kind of have a set of fields so that it has to go through this one region, right, to get to your chest, and it triggers a tripwire that activates a note block that just beeps at it. It goes over to it, and if it dances, it drops the items. It could easily be used as a drop-off point.
It could. It's a very interesting thing. A lot more questions.
Yeah. And but I will also say it's not as useful for all 4 types of players. As the glare was.
The glare is useful for all of you. This one is counting how it works. Is how much use it's going to be for different groups.
This could be the most overpowered or the most underwhelming mob in Minecraft.
It
Oh,
also
yeah, it's
could be
like-
one of the really hated.
It could be the
creatures
next
of
Phantom.
multiplayer.
Could be the
So
next Phantom, yeah.
But
Yeah.
It's the good Phantom, but people hate it because it makes certain things too easy for others.
yeah. So, but
Or it might end up, again, being something like the polar bear, where it's useless. I mean, the polar bear is completely useless. It does, like,
Yeah.
nothing. But, hold on, I'm being called.
Isaac?
I forget what I was saying.
Oh no.
okay. Well, I think that we've kind of explored this mob pretty interestingly. How would y'all rate this mob?
Let's start with you, Isaac.
It's hard to say because, again, there's a lot of questions about it. If it is ridiculously overpowered to duplication, -10. If it is, like, a very limited duplication, I'll give it a 5. If it is, ridiculously underwhelming and can't really do anything and you're better off going off and getting items yourself, 0.
So, for me, even if it's a really good mob, it's not going to be for all different type of players, so I'm going to give it a 3.
So, I personally love the concept of it. And I think it has more uses that people don't see yet. And there will be a whole, if this gets added, there might be a whole meta revolving around it. So I personally would give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, we really just, I sure
We
they
really
have more
don't know.
stuff planned for it, and I'm sure that if I knew what those things were, it would probably go up to closer to a 7 or an 8 for me, but it's really hard to tell.
Yeah.
I also gotta wonder, what biome is it in? Where do you find these guys? They're attracted to note blocks. Does that mean they're attracted
Well,
to blocks
if
in
they
any biome?
look like the evokers, right? Evokers.
Vex.
The Vex. Yeah.
Vex. Maybe they're in the Woodland Mansion.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
And with
But
something
they
as
get attacked by hostile mobs?
I don't think it
I
will.
don't know. There is so many questions.
Yeah, I think that this isn't like a wild card. That could be crazy good or crazy bad.
So if the glare ends up, so the glare seems sort of meh, at least to me. So if the next one is also either meh or bad, I guess I'm gonna vote wild card.
Yeah. Currently
Right now,
between
I
the
like the glare better than this because
Yeah.
I can see its use.
So I kind of like the idea of this one a little bit more than the glare, honestly. Maybe it's because I just basically live with the F3 menu on. Even when I'm in servers where I don't need it, I have the F3 menu on sometimes. So I see this being more useful and more fun. So I would, out of the two, I would vote for this.
Alright.
Well, I think that we are done for today. Make sure to subscribe. We'll be posting more of these and possibly doing live streams or something similar with Minecraft Live. But without further ado, this is Negative Allay.
This is Blue Phoenix.
Potato.
Yeah,
Banana.
that's potato now.
I'm potato. Potato.
I'm guessing that's our
Eat
outro.
up.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.